Hi, this is George from The Return of the King. I was working on another video that I plan to put out in the next few days, and while I was doing that, I got this impression that I need to go back and look at a video I had created back in 2017. And after I did, it appears that this video is pointing to May of this year as the rapture of the church. Now the video I'm talking about is the video Revelation 12 sign and the movie Passengers. Now in this movie, Chris Pratt plays a messianic character named Jim. The ship and passengers leave Earth and are going to their new home on another planet. They are all in hibernation. On their journey, the ship is hit by an asteroid or meteor, which damages the ship, which in turn wakes up Jim 90 years too early. And then out of loneliness, Jim wakes up Aurora, so you can have a love story in the movie. So, and then as the movie progresses, it turns out that Jim's going to have to do something to save the ship and its passengers, and Jim ends up risking his life, and he ends up dying in space, saving the passengers and the ship. And this is very similar to when Jesus, who died on the cross and is then resurrected, Jim dies to save the passengers and crew, and then is brought back to life. There's some very interesting parallels. Also, Chris Pratt, who plays Jim, is also a Christian. Now, Aurora, she retrieves his body and is able to bring him back to life. She has to use a code to use the medical equipment on board to resuscitate him. And that code is a very interesting number, which is connected to the Revelation 12 sign. You'll have to watch the movie. I'll have a link to it at the end of this video here. Now, at the time that I made the video, we were looking at the Revelation 12 sign as the date for the rapture. But there's another very important time span in the movie, and that is it's going to take them 120 years to reach their new home. They will arrive at their new home on the 120th year. Now, this year, the year 2021, is, according to Torah calendar, the 120th Jubilee. This is the year that we should be going home. The connections to the Revelation 12 sign and the rapture are unreal. This is a screenshot from the last video I did, and I talked about how this is how Torah calendar came to calculate out this year as the year of Jubilee. What they did was they went to the book of Ezekiel, and here I'm just going to go through this really quickly. It says, however, as Ezekiel gives us precise chronological data to determine where Jubilee year 68 is in time, we can place the Jubilee year 68 tower as well as the Jubilee year 120 tower with absolute precision and time. And they believe this year is the year of the Jubilee. And if you go to their calendar right now, you will find out that this is a Jubilee year. In a Jubilee year, Rosh Hashanah, which normally occurs up here on the Feast of Trumpets, is going to occur down here on Yom Kippur. It says right here, Day of Atonement, Rosh Hashanah. It says here, Yom Teruah is not Rosh Hashanah in a Jubilee year. And so Rosh Hashanah you see here in a Jubilee year is on Yom Kippur, or the Day of Atonement. And again, it's not any Jubilee year, it's the 120th Jubilee year. Okay, this movie could very well be pointing to this year as the year of the rapture. And then again, there's something else. I mentioned in the video something that happened while I was deer hunting. And it appears to point not only to May as the time of the rapture, but Pentecost. So this occurred in the fall of 2016. And I'm out deer hunting. And in the afternoon, things are pretty quiet. There's not much thing going on. So I'm reading the book of Genesis for a Bible quiz contest that we're going to have at church. And while I'm reading, I get this thought or impression that comes into my mind that as soon as you get done reading, the deer is going to come. And I just kind of blow it off, but it keeps coming and coming again. It's almost like me putting out this video here. It was a couple days ago where I started getting this impression, you need to look at this video, and I just kind of forget out, blow it off. And then today, while I was producing the other video, it came again. So I thought, okay, I'll go look. And sure enough, it's pretty amazing here. And so again, while I'm reading, I get the impression when I finish, a deer will come. And then I get to this point in Genesis. It's near the end of Genesis. It says, Naphtali is a doe let loose that bears beautiful fawns. And so what I think to myself is, okay, the deer that comes is going to be a doe. And so, sure enough, within seconds of finishing the book of Genesis, I hear this loud rushing sound behind me, the sound of like a rushing wind tearing through the forest. It's something I've never heard before, and it's headed towards me, and it keeps coming closer and closer, and all of a sudden the sound stops about 20 yards off to my left. And I turn and look, and behold, what do I see? I see one doe and two fawns 20 yards away from me. And now it says here, it says, Naphtali is a doe let loose that bears beautiful fawns. So in the state of Minnesota, when are fawns born? What month are they born in? They are born in the month of May. And so here we have, within this other video, and I didn't get into detail in the video about it, but I talked about these deer and this happening. And so, and this was impressed on me over the last couple of weeks too, that there's some kind of connection. God was like talking to me. There's a connection between what happened here, what I just described to you, and what's going to happen here in the future in the month of May. And then there's more though, because when we go to the book of Acts, this is what we read here. It says, when the day of Pentecost arrived, they were all together in one place, and suddenly there came from heaven the sound like a mighty rushing wind, and it filled the entire house where they were sitting. And when those deer came, that's exactly what it sounded like. It sounded like the wind was rushing through the forest, and you could hear it coming and getting closer and closer, and then it came and it stopped. And so there's definitely a connection from what occurred to me in the woods, where God spoke to me and he says, you know, they're going to come, and they came exactly when I finished, and it appears to be connected directly to Pentecost. And so I really think this video they made back in 2017 is pointing to Pentecost of this year. Back then we didn't realize it. There's a lot of things that have happened that I have not been able to put the whole puzzle together, but it appears to be everything that I've been studying and looking at is pointing to Pentecost of this year. This movie is only 9 minutes long. I'll have a link here. I'll have it in the description box, and I'll have it on the video here. It's really interesting and worthwhile watching. I'm going to be putting out some more videos pointing to Pentecost as the date or the period of time for the rapture this year. Just remember, Jesus Christ is King. He is coming soon. Time is running out. God bless, and I hope to see you all very, very soon.